this for me was a bit like a suit or a shirt I once wore. And unfortunately, a lot of people look at that suit and think it's me. And I don't mean that in a bitter way or anything. It's just the reality is that I'm, you know, this soul in a body, and the Beatles was this thing we did for a few years. And it was just such a big thing that, you know, it's amazing that people just keep going on about it.
Once they were the Fabulous Four. Now, 15 years after the murder of John Lennon, Paul, George and Ringo are what's left of the Beatles. Still the greatest rock band of them all.
I think basically we had some good songs, and a lot of people were happy with the songs. We tried to give some love, and that really is what it's all about.
All you need is love. All you need is love.
Well, the Beatles are back together again for one last time, on record at least, with 2 new songs featured in a 6-hour TV chronicle on their lives.
And winding road.
Why did you agree, the 3 surviving members, to do this after so long?
Well, I tell you what, we've had this film. This film has been around in various forms right since 1969, and it lay there for years. It was tentatively called The Long and Winding Road, but at that time everybody was annoyed at each other. You know, we were all splitting up. We were tired of being in the Beatles. We'd had all that pressure, and after all these years, you know, it's good because a lot of water's gone under the bridge, and you know, quite honestly, it's like, to me, it's just like separate from me.
In a rare interview, George Harrison, the most reclusive of all the Beatles, has given Today Tonight a remarkable insight of the phenomena that was Beatlemania.
You are obviously recognised by people from
There's
that
still a lot of 17-year-olds standing down by the front door. I can't understand it. I try not to be recognised. There's a period where people didn't have a clue who I was because, you know, if you don't keep a high profile, they forget about you, and then there's all this other stuff, and Michael Jackson's and all those people take over in the press. And I really enjoyed that. That's the only thing I'm a bit dubious about with this big Beatle launch again, because then people will be able to pick me out. But by the time the show comes on the 19th, I'm going to have short blue hair.
There are 2 new songs on there. In fact, one of them, Free as a Bird, that John recorded on mono. He's playing the piano.
Yeah.
How difficult was it melding the 3 surviving Beatles with John?
Yeah, it was, it just took a little time, really. It was pretty tricky because what we did was, at first we took his cassette, and because it was only a demo and it was unfinished, he was just plodding along, and some places he'd go quicken up a bit and some places he'd slow down. And we put all the backing in, did all the singing, and Paul and I wrote some words to the middle part that John had never finished. And we did the total new record, in fact, and then we just took his voice and we dropped it in, every line where we needed it, until we had built up the, you know, the lead vocal part.
Sean Lennon said it was spooky having a dead guy as lead singer. Did you find it spooky?
It's not spooky, but I don't know if this has ever happened to you, if you think that, you know, we all, when we're alive and you hear our music, you hear our voices, but the moment somebody dies, it's suddenly eerie, you know, whether it's John Lennon or Ayrton Senna. You know, just the idea when you hear him speak, it suddenly is very emotional.
I am the Eggman. I am the walrus.
You know, I think he would like it. In fact, I said to them, I hope somebody does this to all my crap demos when I'm dead. Make them into hit songs.